to the show Orion Outreach on ONTV. I'm Jessie Agnew, and with me today is the founder of the Pink Ribbon Trailblazers of Lake Orion, Patricia Nolf. How are you today, Pat?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. It's so Pink Ribbon Trailblazers. Now, I understand that you yourself are a breast cancer survivor, and you received your treatment at St. Joseph Mercy Hospital.
Yes, I did. In 2001, I had a mammogram, and I found, or I hadn't felt it, but my doctor at that time, Dr. Vandermellen, said that we need to go in and do a needle biopsy, and that was on a Monday, and by Friday I was in having my surgery, and I was quite ill afterwards. I was in the hospital for 11 days, and I had a lot of time to think. So that's when I thought, what would I have done if I didn't have insurance? So that's kind of had been in the back of my mind, like, boy, if I get through this, I am going to pay it forward, and that's how I've been doing it.
And where does your story go from there? Because there are so many people who, that's not only a question, that's a reality of not having the insurance.
Correct. Yes. I think it was maybe 3 years afterwards, and I started volunteering for Sue Yun, who's the nurse navigator. And one day she said, "Oh, I have to run downstairs for a minute." And when she came back, I go, "What's up?" And she said, "Well, I had to go downstairs. There was a woman who was coming in for a free mammogram, and she doesn't have a car. She has no transportation, so she came here in a cab, and I paid her cab fare." And that's kind of how it started. And I looked at my husband one day, and we were driving down to my daughter's house in Troy, and I said to him, "Dean, what can I do to get some money for Sue so she can help the program at St. Joe?" And he said, "Well, Pat, it's right in front of you." And I go, "Right in front of me? Where?" And he said, "Look at the Oakland Press." So I looked, and on the front page was a picture of Larry Obrecht, who had got federal and state funding in order to improve the PolyN Trail. So I said, "Oh." He said, "Why don't you have a walk on it?" And I said, "Well, that's a great idea." So when we stopped, my husband loves coffee, and so we stopped so he could get coffee before we dropped in on my daughter. And he walked in Starbucks, and there was Larry Obrecht.
No way.
Yes, true, very honest.
It's like it was ordained.
Yep, like right. And so then from there, I proposed something to Sue, and then 4 girls met, and we came up with the name Pink Ribbon Trailblazers, and we got together, and we said, "Okay, well, let's see if we can get a walk going." And to myself, I said, "Well, I would really, if I could provide 30 mammograms for that many women, I would think that it was successful." And then as it turned out, we had enough money for 130 mammograms. So that's basically how everything was gauged as 108. That's how much it cost through Medicare guidelines, and that's how we base our success.
And all these mammograms are done with St. Joseph Mercy Hospital,
correct? Correct.
Okay. And then you mentioned to me earlier that there is a special meaning behind the banner of your organization, and I also see it's in your earrings as well.
Yes.
And what is so special about that to you?
Well, the girl who helps me with my website, she said, "Well, we need to get a logo." I go, "Okay," and she said, "I don't think we should have the typical logo, that breast cancer logo that everyone else uses."
The ribbon?
And so then we were looking at a website where they had different pink things, and what did we see? I call her Running Lady, and as you can see, she's in the process, and and so that's what we called her, and then we proceeded to put her on our trifold, and which happens every year, And then from there, I thought, well, why not? I wonder if I could get in touch with a jeweler. So someone arranged for me to speak and to email a jeweler in New York. So these are actually made in the United States, and it's one of our ways that we sell them for $10 each, and if we sell 10 of them, that's close to one free mammogram.
And can you order those right off of your website?
Well, yes, we can.
Awesome. So little Trailblazers for the Trailblazers, right?
There you go.
So why do you feel there was such a positive response to your organization?
I think because in my mission statement, I wanted to help women in Oakland County. And the more that people heard about it, neighbors and then people that my husband had worked with, and the idea seemed to spread. So it's almost what you would call pay it forward, that I felt that the more women that heard about us via, it could be our walk, or it could be on in the newspaper. We got a lot of publicity.
Like in the Oakland Press?
The Oakland Press and Lake Orion Review and Oxford Leader. So they're all community-minded, and it's worked out great for us and great for St. Joe.
And you mentioned that the PolyN Trail is one of your fundraisers, and is that still going on? Is it an annual event?
Yes, yes, it is. This year will be our 6th annual fundraiser on the PolyN Trail, and it's been a learning experience, and we don't care what you do when you come. We don't offer any trophies because all of our money goes for mammograms, and we pay no salaries. So it's I think ours differs from all the other ones that are out there because anyone can come. My husband's the finance guy. We have a board and we have committee chairs, and if you want to look at our books, you're more than welcome.
Now, can you tell me where exactly is PolyN Trail?
Oh, okay.
If I came this year, where would I find it?
All right. Well, if you had one of our brochures, you would know that you would start at, it's right adjacent to the Oxford Library.
Oh, okay.
And it's 530 Pontiac Road. And even though the trail will eventually be hooked up with the Paint Creek Trail, at this point, that's where we do our walk, what we call it a stroll, walk, run, and 20-mile bike ride.
Oh, is there any other events that you guys do? Because is that just a summer event?
It is a summer event, but we have expanded.
Okay.
And we have people that are fundraising for us now, and it's just so tender to my heart that people will care enough to take the time and do all of, it's a lot of work. And for example, the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, they have a spaghetti dinner for us every year. And last year they gave us a check for $1,682. So if you figure
pretty successful spaghetti dinner.
Yes, yes, and they've done that for 3 years.
Okay.
And then in this will be our 3rd year, Oakland Hills Country Club, the women that are golfers, the 9-hole and the 18-hole, they actually have a fundraiser for the Pink Ribbon Trailblazers. And I have been just so amazed because last year they presented us with a check of $10,000. And it's just very rewarding to me and to the other members of our committee because it shows that we're reaching out. And when I look at some of the statistics, there are 32 cities where these women that have had these free mammograms came from in Oakland County.
That your organization has helped. Wow.
So it just shows you how it fingers out. I mean, it starts here and then it grows and grows and grows. And when you attend one of those free clinics, it touches your heart. It's all the reward that I want because they're just so pleased, and to think that they could have that and also have a free screening and they're in and out of there in less than, say, a half hour. And a lot of women will come in with the idea that, oh boy, this is free, I'm going to be sitting here half the day. But it's not so.
Not the case?
Nope.
Oh,
We give them a cup of coffee.
fantastic anywhere you go.
Yeah, something to eat, even though it's
Nice.
not nutritious. But it's a reward for them for, you know, trusting us. And so, like I said, St. Joe does such a wonderful job about caring for individuals.
You're pleased with how the hospital has been responding
Oh.
and receiving your...
Definitely, they have. When we present our check, we have a lot of the staff that attends, and it's just a feel-good day.
They're very dedicated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's really fantastic, again, that you've used your own personal challenges to turn it into such a wonderful organization that's touched so many lives. Can you tell me a little bit about the kinds of women that you've helped, and has that number increased with the downturn of the economy lately?
Yes, they within our mission statement, we serve underserved and uninsured women. And what has happened because of the downturn, we've been seeing more underserved women. And what that means is that they, like, say for example, they originally had a full-time job. Then the economy downturn, they're part-time. So if you're part-time, it's hard enough just to make your mortgage payments, and you can pay for your gas, and so
Right.
these women can't, and a lot of them are single, they can't afford to pay for insurance. So what will happen is that they make enough income so they can't qualify for any federal program or
Got it.
state program, but these are the women that we're seeing now. So it's important that people understand that these women, even though they're uninsured, they're also underserved. And it's just a manner of words, but they're ever so thankful.
And real quick, I know that Breast Cancer Awareness Month is coming up in October, and I'm sure you have some big plans for that. What
Yes.
kind of events are
Yes, we do.
be
And
going
first
on?
time ever, instead of having an Oktoberfest in October, we're going to have a Pink Ribbon Trail Booby Fest.
Oh, a
Need
booby
I
fest.
explain? Yes, and I'm a member of Pink Creek Country Club, and they've been so generous as to offer a Saturday for us. So we are going to have a dinner. It's $35 each. It includes 2 entrees and your coffee, soft drinks, etc.
This is in October?
Mm-hmm.
What was the date for
October
it?
27th.
Okay.
And we have some high-end items that we're going to auction off. And we have live music by a band. It's actually a mom and her son. And it's not loud music, by the way. And, and it's Lisa D and E. So when we get our flyer out, actually a breast cancer woman that was in our calendar last year, she's actually working with us to get a kind of splashy flyer, and we hope that we're going to be very successful in that.
And you mentioned you have a new calendar coming out. that you
Yes,
yes,
we do. We had one last year, and now we have our second annual Pink Ribbon Trailblazer calendar coming out by September 1st in time for our walk.
And that's something else you can order on your website?
Yes, yes, and the charge is only $20. We sell 5 calendars, 1 free mammogram.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm here with Pat Nolf on Orion Outreach on ONTV. I'm Jessie Agnew, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.